Can I just say that like Tyrell James Williams and Tyler Jackson Williams, like they are both very, very fine men. Okay? This is your sign to go watch Ebba Elementary, okay? Go do it. Hey y'all, it's Harriyanna and I'm back with another video. Hello, hi, how are you guys doing? My name is Harriyanna and welcome to, or welcome back to, if you've been here before, the pirate ship, also known as Harry Hook's pirate ship. I am the captain. You are not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you don't want to know why? I'll tell you in. I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody's worthy of being the first mate. Hello, hi, how are you guys doing? She's giving Kiki's delivery service and Dolores Madrigal today, okay? But hi, I'm Harriyanna and I like to make content based off nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces. Now today's video, this is actually a video that I intended to have come out in 2020, so it's been a while, okay? I intended to make this video in December of 2020 because people have brought this topic to my attention and it was something that I really did want to explore and give some insight on. But then as I started doing that video, I realized that this show wasn't the only person that had a problem with, not person, I'm talking about the show like it's people. This show wasn't the only thing on that network being Disney XD, that just had the problem. The entire network is just anti-black, okay? And I just needed to elaborate on that. But here today, we are gonna narrow it down from one of those shows that I spoke about there and just elaborate it on it more, because I think this show right here did it the worst. No, I low-key think Kicking It did it the worst because, you know, the black kid left and then they refused to replace him with another black kid. But here it was a little bit more painful. Like, Lab Rats is just not the only show on this damn network that had a diversity problem. Disney XD just has a lot of problems in general, but Today I will be talking about Disney's Lab Rats and how the main character ended up becoming a supporting character. It's tragic. Now, what exactly is Lab Rats? Lab Rats is a Disney XD series that ran in the mid-2010s. It was about a kid named Leo whose stepfather was a super duper rich inventor. First of all, Donald Davenport had to be scamming. How are you a billionaire? How do you have that much money? Okay, I have questions, but anyway, basically his mother remarries to a white man, a rich white man. Go get that bad girl, okay? And he discovers that he has three step siblings to be exact, that have bionics. And okay, for people that watch My Hero Academia, a bionic is like a quirk, okay? That's what that is. They have superpowers. That's literally what a bionic is. It's just a power, okay? And their names are Adam, Bree, and Chase. Adam, Bree, and Chase are white kids. This is important to know, okay?
I got a new lab. I got a new lab. I got a new lab.
Whoa. I think you mean we got a new lab?
Excuse me, did we pay to rebuild it?
Do you sleep in a glass box?
We got a new lab. We got a new lab.
For those of you guys who have never seen Lab Rats, because I really do appreciate y'all that don't be watching none of the shit I talk about. But y'all still support me. Y'all real ones. Y'all real. Like, yeah, I don't get it either with the bionics. Just go along with it. Just go along with it. And it's also kind of weird because Donald, who is his stepfather, Donald Davenport, he gave Adam, Bree, and Chase these powers when they were like really small children. Never trust a billionaire. That's one thing that I have learned from Lab Rats. Don't trust nobody with that much damn money, okay? Anyway, let's continue. Aside from like the superhero shit, it's just your typical high school show. It's your typical high school teen superhero show. And honestly, in my opinion, sorry, I personally think Lab Rats is one of Disney's best sitcoms. Like, y'all be talking about Kicking It. No, Lab Rats gave Kicking It a big run for its money. Like, yeah, it was one of the few live action Disney shows that had like a story driven plot. I think it was one of the first ones that actually did it well. Like, yeah, there was like plenty of like filler episodes, episodic episodes and shit like that, but there was a story being told the entire time. And when you put the story together, it's actually a pretty good one. Yes, this show is about like superheroes, but it's also realistic because Adam, Bree, and Chase did go on missions, but they also went to regular school. They literally begged Donald to let them go to regular school, okay? And one thing that get on my damn nerves when I'm just watching shows about like, you know, people just with superpowers in general, they're always told to not use their superpowers for their personal gain and only use their powers when they need to use them. Hence, you know, going on missions and fighting and shit. I loved how Adam, Bree, and Chase just used their powers for petty shit. Like, I loved that. They used it for their personal gain. They used it for petty shit. I love how they made them having superpowers was realistic. Because I kid you not, if I had a superpower and you try to tell me I can only use it for, you know, emergencies only, I'm not gonna fucking listen to you. I'm not. I'm gonna use this shit to skip the long ass line in Walmart so I can get out quicker. Okay, like Mount Lady be doing that on My Hero Academia. She be using her quirk to her advantage. You go, girl. Now, you see how much we talked about Adam, Bree, and Chase already? Yeah, pay good attention to what I just did. Because that right there is part of this show's problem. There's an issue with me talking more about Adam, Bree, and Chase than Leo. Leo is the main character. Like literally in the introduction, the theme song, the opening credits, he says living in my basement.
Living in my basement?
So when he said that, that lets the audience know, oh, he's the main character. He's the sole focus of the series. But after a while, he wasn't. The more the series went on, the more it focused on Adam, Bree, and Chase. But not just Adam, Bree, and Chase, Donald, their stepfather. We saw a good amount of Leo, his mother Tasha, in about season 1 and then season 2. But season 3 is really when I began to get frustrated with this series. We actually got to see Donald and Tasha act like a married couple. And it was pretty cute, okay? And then we have episodes where her mother would come in, and the main reason I love the episodes with her mom is because she basically was Rachel from the fucking Family Matters, okay? We're gonna bring Family Matters back up in this video, so just wait. But I just thought that was like a nice key touch. I really did enjoy watching a lot of Disney sitcoms in general because a lot of the people that played the parents on the series, they came from like classic shows that everybody used to watch back in the day, okay? Like Tashina Arnold literally was on Pair of Kings. I love it. I love it, okay? Now, come on. Season 1 and 2 were pretty good balance with Leo and his family and the bionic superhero shit. Yes, I enjoyed Adam, Bree, and Chase's misadventures. I'm not gonna sit here and act like they didn't steal the scenes because they did. They were great. They were funny. I love them. But you can also tell who was the main focus on the series. It all came back to Leo. Leo was still the center of it all. But as the series went on, Leo became less and less of the center and it focused more on Adam, Bree, and Chase. Basically, the story pulled away from the black boy and towards the white kids. It's not even with them just pushing Leo to the back and then the white step siblings to the front. We just saw less people of color as this series went on. It's weird because they saw Leo and his mom is like, okay, we have 2 black people already. We don't need no more. Like literally the more the series went on, we just saw more and more white people. Like we barely saw any people of color get incorporated. And when they did, they played in and out. But mostly it was just white. The show got progressively white. Now, there's a big part of the series where Leo does come along to the missions, but him being a normal human and not a superhuman played a disadvantage in that. The trips were very dangerous for Leo. They were too dangerous for him. I completely understand that. Now that is like the earlier, a lot of the mission episodes solely focus more on Adam, Bree, and Chase because you know they have powers that focus on them. I didn't mind that, okay? But then later on, here's where it becomes a problem. Leo ends up getting bionics too. He ends up getting a superpower. And they still did nothing with him. They still didn't do that much with them, to be exact. Leo gets bionics, which is a good thing because we started to think that Leo was gonna get the attention again, but no. It's frustrating because this was his show to begin with. The strangest thing about that, how he ended up getting a bionic, and we thought we were gonna see more of him, and when I say more of him being the center of attention again, he wasn't. We didn't see more of him. It was still about the same, everything being on Adam, Bree, and Chase, and Leo is just there kind of like as support. And there even was an episode where Leo was, you know, feeling like he was left out. And then the show continued to leave him out. Like, huh? As yes, Adam, Bree, and Chase are very important factors to this show. They're literally main characters. They're in the introduction episode. They're literally credited on every episode. I'm not sitting here acting like Adam, Bree, and Chase weren't important factors to Lab Rats, okay? They literally are the Lab Rats. But the balance and the attention that they got compared to Leo in the show was becoming so unbalanced to the point where it was noticeable. Sometimes you even forget that Leo was the main character in the later end of the season because of how much they just focused everything on Adam, Bree, and Chase at the end of the day. Sometimes you forget Leo's an important factor of the team because the writers made him useless. Like, they stay using the excuse of Leo wasn't as strong as Adam, Bree, and Chase for why he didn't do so much of like the crime fighting and shit. But him being left behind and for them to focus more on the other kids, we know why they use, you know, Leo not being as strong and then focusing more on the story on Adam, Bree, and Chase. As you know, they're kind of like trained to do this. They've been training to fight crime their whole entire life. They use Leo being the weaker sibling as an excuse just not to use him that much. They use that shit as an excuse to drive the story away from him, which I don't get. That's one thing that I really don't get. That reason alone is the reason why Leo Dooley is the main character, because he stands out so much from those three. That's the reason why the story focused on him in the first place, okay? Leo not being as strong as Adam, Bree, and Chase is the reason he's the protagonist. The protagonist, y'all, let's go back to literature class now, okay? The protagonist literally is the character that stands out from everyone else. They can be super duper dull, super duper over the top, whatever. The protagonist, the point of them is to have something that everybody else doesn't, along with the antagonist. Those two characters right there are the ones that are supposed to stand out the most. Like, let's take My Hero Academia for example, because I think that is like the best comparison right now when it comes to Lab Rats. As I mentioned My Hero Academia literally like 2 fucking times already. So Deku, Midoriya, I just call him Deku because I don't feel like saying all that. Deku literally is the main character of My Hero Academia. You want to know why? Because Deku did not have a quirk. He literally did not get a quirk until he was about 14 years old, okay? Because he wanted to go to the superhero school, you know, yada 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 the whole night, okay?
No! It was my fault he was there to begin with! I got in the way of your hard work. I wasted your energy, and not to mention your time.
I'm not done. You told me you didn't have a power, so when I saw this timid, quirkless boy try to save a life, it inspired me to act too.
He's the main character because he is the least experienced superhero. Like, later on he does become an amazing hero, as we hear him saying in the opening. But Deku is the main character because he's different from everyone. He's literally just now getting his quirk and literally just now figuring out how to use that shit. Deku is not as strong as his classmates. That's why he's the main character. That is why My Hero focused on him, okay? Yes, My Hero focuses on many other different characters, okay? But at the end of the day, the story all comes back to Deku. He's different from everyone else, okay? No matter what is going on with the side characters or Todoroki or Bakugo, who are also considered to be like the other main characters too, it all comes back to Deku because this is his show. They always remember to let you know this series is about him. Lab Rats did not do that. They failed Leo. Lab Rats was only Leo's show for about the first 2 seasons, if we're being technically correct, okay? Because season 3 and 4, that was the Adam, Bree, and Chase show. That was the actual Lab Rats. Now, do I think the last 2 seasons of Lab Rats are terrible? No, hell no. I think they're really great, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like this shit was shit because it wasn't. It was the shit. It wasn't shit. It was amazing, okay? No, I don't think it was bad at all. But this did not feel like the same series that it was in the first half. What being done with Lab Rats here is similar to what was being done with a series called Family Matters, as I mentioned that earlier. And if you don't know what Family Matters is, you're most likely not black, or you just don't watch television. You don't watch like 90s television, okay? But if you want to know what Family Matters is, Family Matters literally is a black sitcom that ran in the 90s about a black middle class family that lived in Chicago, okay? It focused on the Winslows at first, and then later on there was a character that was introduced named Steve Urkel, and it became the Urkel show. Family Matters brought in a guest character early on named Steve Urkel, okay? And they saw how well Steve Urkel worked with the show, but they also saw how the audience really did enjoy him. And because of that, they decided to keep him around longer. A lot of people, when they're introduced to Family Matters, a lot of people don't even know that Urkel wasn't even a main character to begin with. Why do you think when they show reruns of Family Matters all the time, they barely show that first season? Like, you mainly just see Urkel shit, okay? I had no idea Urkel wasn't in the show the entire time because they aired an episode one day from season 1 and I was like, where's Steve? And I was like, oh, Steve didn't exist yet. Where basically Steve would come into the house and bother the family. By the way, side note, if the Winslows really didn't like Steve, they would have locked the damn door, okay? Y'all like that boy toying with y'all, okay? But the show became less and less focused on family and more about Steve. It wasn't Family Matters anymore. It was just Steve Urkel. Lab Rats did the same thing with Leo. Lab Rats did the exact same thing with Adam, Bree, and Chase, okay? Now, I personally did not think it was a bad idea for them to make Steve the main character of Family Matters because it needed it. It really did needed it. Season 1 was dry as hell, okay? They needed Urkel up in there, okay? That show was much better with Steve came in. I'm not gonna pretend like season 1 of Family Matters was great. It's literally like, you know, season 1 of A Different World and how it was shit and then later on it was better, okay? Sometimes shows need to make changes, okay? But Lab Rats didn't really need that change because the audience was there. The audience was there, okay? People loved it. And another reason why it didn't bother me too much with Family Matters in the first place is because the show still focused on the black person, okay? Steve Urkel was black. Now, why that bothers me so much with Lab Rats is because, yes, I loved Adam, Bree, and Chase and Donald, okay? I thought they were very great characters for the most part. But I and many other black kids, we turned into Lab Rats. We tuned in to watch this series for Leo. We came to Lab Rats because we saw this show had a strong black lead. That is the main reason why so many black kids decided to watch Lab Rats, okay? For Leo Dooley. We have enough shows on Disney Channel about white kids. We don't really need no more. And before somebody tries to hop on me for saying that, white people, y'all have plenty of shows. Y'all have so much representation out here, especially when it comes to family entertainment. During that time period, there weren't many black leads, okay, in kid shows. That was amazing for us. And the thing is, they're still making shows that focus on white people. Like, y'all are fine. Y'all are fine. We had a superhero show that focused on a black kid, okay? Like, yeah, we had like Static Shock where it's solely focused on a black kid, and then, you know, we had Teen Titans and all that other stuff, but they were a part of our ensemble. It was nice to see that this show was directly where a black kid was the center of the focus, like Static Shock. It's sad because we got that. We finally got a show, a superhero show where we were the center of attention, and it got taken away from us. Adam, Bree, and Chase were good characters. No, I don't hate them. But why did y'all give Adam, Bree, and Chase better writing than y'all did Leo? Why wasn't the writing for Leo just as good as it was for his 3 step-siblings? As the series was going on, you can tell that they were trying to figure out more and more and more what to do with Leo's character, because after a while sometimes it just felt like they didn't know what to do with him because they shifted so much of the attention off of him and to his step-siblings. It's like they just didn't know what to do with him anymore after a while, and they just stopped trying and they just went full on with Adam, Bree, and Chase, and it's just sad. It's just hurtful. Lab Rats is one of the best Disney family sitcoms in my opinion. I throw it up there with That's So Raven, okay? Yes, I rank it that high on my Disney sitcom list, okay? But just because Lab Rats was a good show and just because I enjoy it does not mean it's not open to criticism. Like That's So Raven, Lab Rats had a lot of issues. Lab Rats had issues beyond the diversity, but I'm not about to sit here and talk about that shit. That's another topic for another discussion, cause but after a while the diversity just wasn't giving it anymore. Diversity is what got black kids to watch this show in the first place. But then it was taken from us. The more this series went on, the less and less diversity became important, and it was just very hurtful. I couldn't help but get angry when I watched the last 2 seasons of Lab Rats because of how different it felt in the second half. Because Leo no longer was the main character. They said Leo was still the main character, but we know deep down he just wasn't there for it no more. And it's tragic. Thank you guys so much for watching. Literally the new Euphoria episode is about to come on, so I have to rush this outro. Follow me on everything, Harriyanna, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have merch, the Progenies in my web show, go watch that. Donate, links down below, Patreon, do all that good stuff. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching and have a good night.
Girls will just blow your mind. Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their rut. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before bedtime. From Townsville, Memphis, New York to LA, the Powerpuff Girls are just here to stay.